Welcome to the Bar Talk Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Chabot, joined always by my co-host, Dan Mahoney.
Take that, Carl. I beat you.
He's never here anymore. Even I'm here more than him. We're always joined by Andy and Fish of Inebriart.
I'm Carl Heine. I'm 6'8" and 112 pounds of
I tower
raw
over you.
steel.
I'm laughing like I know what's happening.
And that voice there, we are joined today by Aubrey Davy. Is that right?
Yep.
And she's from Lucioso. She's actually fed us beers while we were recording there a bunch of episodes back. Nice to have you on, Aubrey.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you.
Actually, drinking the beer and not giving them to you.
Right? So much more fun that way.
So it's an early morning podcast, which we're not used to doing.
Well, we're on vacation. Some of us are on vacation.
Some of us are on vacation. I'm
Some of
always
us
on
aren't.
vacation.
We're dying slowly, but that's fine.
We're all dying slowly.
You're born dying. We're just accelerating the process by
I just don't have
cracking
to go to
open
work
some
this week.
beer. We're cracking open beers mad early, and we're going to talk about it. Day drinking. It's 10 o'clock somewhere. 10 o'clock a.m.
Wait,
brunch.
is that the saying?
Yeah.
That was 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5
That's how you
o'clock somewhere.
justify that, like,
Jesus
different time
Christ,
zones.
you drunk already?
It was 10 a.m. I thought that's when we were supposed to start.
Just because that's what time we're
Take
drinking.
two.
I really like to get involved with the podcast subject, so I want to feel like I'm part of what we're talking about, and we're talking about day drinking, so I started drinking at 10 a.m. today.
I support it, yeah.
All right, cool,
So
man.
let me
I'm just really giving a buck.
I just want to, like, explain this saying to you now. You say it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so you can justify no matter what time it is that you can be drinking.
So why can't you just change the time to 10 a.m.?
Because then it sounds
Because then you have a problem.
Oh.
When
When you say it's 5 o'clock somewhere, we're like, oh, it's late enough for me to start drinking.
Are you playing naive, or you seriously didn't understand
No,
that?
I'm playing.
You were doing an
That's
excellent
what he
job because I
said.
started to question
He's
it.
playing.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I know what it is. Just tell me so I know you know what it is.
I had a clock at Speedwell that was broken, but it only read 5 o'clock for that reason. It was, whatever. But way to take the fun out of it, guys. Awesome.
I was honestly getting concerned.
I don't know what they teach you down in Fall River.
Not much. The town
I'm
motto.
going to college there soon.
You're going to college?
I'm transferring to Bristol.
I went there. I have a degree
Really?
there. Yeah.
This is what you get to look forward to.
Yeah, I got an associate's in
Take
reading
back
clocks.
that paperwork.
The motto in Fall River, and I swear to God, this is on every police badge and patch,
He's seen him when he gets arrested.
is "We'll." Yeah, it's "We'll try." I swear to God, that's Fall River's city
We'll
motto.
try?
We'll try.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
better than me thinking you were going to say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So
10 o'clock somewhere.
I sent an email to my professor this morning. It was like, I can't get the paper in today. I tried. I'll be there Wednesday.
Yeah,
and then you just
tried.
quote Fall River's town motto.
I'm telling you, look it up.
Get a
Fall
couple
River,
of thumbs up.
Massachusetts.
And
Yep.
picture, like, I tried.
Day drinking,
well, there's a growing trend.
brunch.
Brunches are very popular. There's a local coffee place that now has, I think, beer and wine.
Yeah, Jolly Bean Cafe.
Jolly Bean Cafe.
Great spot.
Oh, dude, best
Amanda.
breakfast sandwiches. Love those. So what's the deal? Why does everyone want to get shit-faced early?
Because, I mean,
Morning sucks.
fuck the rest of your day, right?
Like, the hangover is more at bedtime then, you know? Like, you know how the hangover is
Yep.
the next morning usually? Well, then it's bedtime. You just sleep it off unless
Just start early, go to bed
unless
early.
you start too early, then you wake up the next day.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
pointed at Fish.
Yeah.
Not at the 10 o'clock somewhere, guy. She pointed at Fish.
So let's define day drinking. When does day drinking start? When does
Well, it starts during the day, as the name
previous
tells
night
us.
drinking become day drinking?
You're gonna go to bed. I mean, and then it's so when you wake up and like within
Wake up sober.
wake up sober
Well,
or hungover.
I believe there's...
Uh-huh.
hungover still sober.
What about when
Yeah.
you're almost hungover? Like, you know that, like, oh god, it's coming.
You got to catch it
yeah.
first,
Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta keep
the
drinking.
scaries.
That's a good call.
Right?
Yes,
But what's the age-old saying is you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So I think it starts in the
it's the morning.
So
Yeah, that's
As long as
scientists.
they-
I came up with that.
yeah,
was
it was
very
tested
smart.
at Bristol University. Is that what you guys?
Aubrey's professor came up with that.
He gets it. That's why he accepted
Remember,
that
Aubrey,
email.
if it's bad, don't say his name.
I love that professor.
right.
We drank together, like, at night, which is awesome because the next day you're both hungover, so he doesn't care that you're, like, sleeping in class because
We
he's
used to
about to
smoke
sleep
weed
too.
with our
Yeah, he's like it's movie day.
So, do you drink differently generally in the morning? like, are you
faster.
no? But are you like, oh, I'll go with a mimosa so it feels like breakfast?
You know, I think it's more of like a secondary thing, like a secondhand thing. Like, you're more likely to be handed a mimosa at that time. But if I am just going into it knowing that I'm drinking in the morning, I'm going to drink the same thing I drink at night. I don't care. I'm not going to pour myself whiskey in the morning,
see,
though.
that's where it's. I might.
I'll have a beer.
Take a couple of notches off.
Yeah.
So, or not have. But yeah, I mean, there's some places do breakfast cocktails. Like, I go to a place in Boston that has an awesome Manhattan that's made with maple and butter infused bourbon. It
So that
comes
makes
with
sense.
garnished with chocolate covered
What was
bacon.
this
So
exactly? Where?
it's at Trina Starlight Lounge. I highly
Why aren't we
recommend
there
it.
right now?
We should. They do industry
'Cause
brunch on
Dan
Mondays.
just told us about it.
Yeah. Well, I've been telling everybody about that. You just don't listen.
What? What'd you say?
So why is that well, that one I guess I could say I can see why that's a breakfast drink, because it seems like pancakes in a glass.
Tastes like waffles.
Yeah, waffles. But like, what made like it okay? Is it because orange juice goes with breakfast and like, oh, let's just dump some champagne in this and now we got a mimosa? Or like, what made it okay? I'm sure we could do our research and figure it out.
Well, it seems-
but as human beings, with drinking problems, why did we all of a sudden decide what was okay and what wasn't?
It looks like a lot of those drinks are catered to taking the edge off your night before. Like your Bloody Mary, you drink because you fucking hate your life in the morning.
and you need electrolytes.
Yeah, even same thing like mimosas. It has orange juice, which like there's
Right.
vitamins in orange juice.
Tomato
or something.
juice strips skunk smell from you, so it should probably be able to
Yeah.
clean your liver out.
Can't
I
drink-
feel like it's kind of like you don't drink like soda with chocolate cake. It's just like not. Well, I mean, I do, but I get
we don't
made
judge
fun
yet.
of it so much that I know
like how
people
she's like,
usually
you don't do this. I mean, well, I do.
I do
So-
it. I get made fun of so much that I know people don't usually. But I think it just like goes better, you know.
Right.
Like it's just
It's a
what
pairing
you
thing.
want.
Right.
It tastes better with it.
Is there like one thing that you're like, oh, I would never ever drink that like in the morning drink?
Milk. I'm lactose intolerant.
I don't think that's what I meant.
But there's not going to be a better answer for that.
I know. Turn the page.
All right, fuck me. I have no other question.
That's it. Last call.
Drop the mic.
Go get
Don't
some more.
actually drop the mic.
I feel like gin's not really a breakfast
I
cocktail.
could do gin in the morning, or gin and tonic.
Yeah, but you're a fucking weirdo. So
I just think I couldn't do like a bourbon on the rocks in the morning. I couldn't do anything probably
'Cause you
straight
drink
up.
shitty bourbon.
I don't want to like tequila in the morning.
tequila sunrise, man. That's orange juice.
Oh, you're right. I could
Those
totally
are-
drink one
that
of
was
those in the
good.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one once with like a little like twist of habanero in it.
That sounds awful.
Oh, that's really good.
Actually, that sounds
Awful.
yeah, with
It was
eggs too.
really
Oh,
good.
man, forget about it.
Eggs in your drink?
No, but like you do like a scrambled eggs and like a.
Was that Aubrey? You're hungry? Well, someone forgot the wings.
Oh my
And-
goodness! I was already
just
a
like
half hour late.
disappointed.
Yeah, but name a breakfast cocktail that has gin. You can't because you're wrong.
I don't know. Yeah, I probably could.
Like
if I was
rum,
a
you can
good
do rum
bartender, but
punches, vodkas, and everything.
Well,
I
Aubrey's
don't
a
know, gin
bartender.
and lemonade.
Is there a gin drink that you?
I mean, we don't do breakfast, but I do work at a breakfast place too, so that would work. I've never made a breakfast gin drink. Gin, bourbon, whiskey,
Yeah.
sometimes not really.
It's not huge on there.
You see the people, they come in and they're, they need whiskey. Like there's like a very rare few of them.
So we,
Shot of Jameson I have done in the morning.
well, that's
Oh,
what,
yeah.
so I work at,
So
we
yeah,
do
I can
a big
relate to
brunch
that.
thing on Saturday, Sundays in my new spot, and lots of Jameson goes out over that bar. Like, especially with the new invention of pickleback shots. I
Right.
feel like it's more acceptable to drink Jameson all day long.
The Irish breakfast shot. I
Yep.
know that's a new. I mean,
Oh,
that's
the
one-
the breakfast shot.
Yeah.
the
So
hell's
if
a
you take,
What is it?
well, first of all, I love breakfast shots, but usually the ones we do are like Crown Royal Maple or McGillicuddy's butterscotch, something breakfasty.
so this is similar to that.
Okay.
This is something I mixed up in when I was a bartender, and I actually worked for a living in New Bedford. And I would take Jameson and just, I think I found the recipe online, or I had someone come in and tell me the recipe. But you take Jameson, a little bit of butter shots or butterscotch schnapps, and you do an orange juice chaser and a little slice
unless
of bacon.
Buttershots wants to sponsor us,
Yeah.
Right.
then we'll talk.
Butterscotch
I'll take that to
schnapps,
Kuiper.
Irish whiskey. But yeah, so you blend the butterscotch schnapps and Irish whiskey together. You can chill it, but you don't have to. I think it's kind of better warm. A orange juice sidecar or chaser, cold orange juice, and then a little slice of bacon. So you do the shot, you drink the OJ, and then you eat the bacon, and it tastes like you pretty much had like a lumberjack breakfast.
Yep.
You know, and it really does. It sounds kind of gross and weird when you take it apart.
Nothing
like
about
I feel
that
like
sounds
someone
gross
told
and
me
weird.
a similar shot that tasted
Well,
like
OJ with
pancakes. I can't remember what it was. I think it was OJ and... Were you there for that, Fish?
Yeah,
he's
fish
just
saw
not.
stuff.
Yeah.
Fish was there. He's always there watching you.
Well, usually he's the first one who's like, let's do... Yeah, change that.
Horrible.
I was the one that laughed at first. I was like, "Is that normal to say?" laughing.
But he's usually the first one who's like, we should do breakfast shots.
Supportive Fish.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Dr. McGillicuddy's.
You gotta
It's just
turn it
like
up.
brushing your teeth.
Right? Yeah.
So
there you go.
mouthwash around here.
I used to come in if, like, have a rough morning, late to work. You come in, I'm like, I'd buy a shot of McGillicuddy's because I didn't have mouthwash or anything. But John is very strict about drinking on the job, obviously, because he knows me. So he'd sit there and watch me as I swished and gargled this McGillicuddy's, and I'd spit it out and have like a little funeral in my head for it. It was
You have that one tear come down like the.
Can you just buy like a house bottle of Listerine or something?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Actually, it might be less expensive to just go with the McGillicuddy's.
Yeah.
I have no idea how bad I am at this life thing. So
I'm starting to figure it out. I think you're doing a great job.
One of my worst
thanks.
morning
just
drinking.
met
I
her.
drank.
Oh, she's waited on me.
Let
before. I
me live
just-
it while it's like
She's
that's
waited on me a couple times.
Yeah.
the first time someone's ever said that to me. Let me have this.
All right,
Okay.
sorry.
I didn't mean to take it away from you.
Don't steal her thunder.
I had to talk to my doctor the other day because she was like, "You missed your third appointment." I'm like, I'm not good at this. I'm like, I need my mom.
I need an adult
So-
all the time.
I mean, I don't think I've been to the doctor in like 15 years, so I don't feel bad.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
So you're already ahead of
I'm
him.
still here.
I feel
Yep.
so much.
I went for the first time when I broke my... Not for the first time, but the first one in a long time when I broke my ankle. Because they're like, the ankle guy won't see you unless you go see a regular doctor. I'm like, fuck me. So,
Yeah.
sucks. How do we get on this?
I don't.
Oh yeah, we were
Being
day
bad
drinking.
humans.
Yeah, day drinking.
Yeah, this
Day
is
drinking.
usually what happens. The mind wanders. This is why we do this. I just thought of a gin drink that they serve in the morning, a French 75.
What's that? Tell us. You're making that shit up?
I'm going to get it wrong,
So that means you're
but
lying.
I'm pretty sure it's Prosecco or sparkling wine with gin and I want to say Saint Germain? Is in it too?
That doesn't sound terrible.
No, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
I've had one, but I just can't remember how to
What
make
time
it.
do you have it at?
I don't know. It's 10 o'clock somewhere.
Your voice got really high right there. You like almost hit Carrie Underwood level for a second.
He's been practicing that in the mirror.
My voice is much better in the morning.
After a couple beers.
Do you ever have that day that you where day drinking decides to have you? Where just all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's like 6 o'clock. You've been drinking all day. You had no intention. This happens to me all the time. Like Carl will be like, "Hey, we got to meet. I want to talk to you about something."
I knew I was going to say Carl. That's usually how it starts.
And I go for breakfast, and then he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, well, "Let's go have a beer." And you're like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?" And then next thing you know, it's like 6:30. You're hammered.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone home already.
Oh, yeah. He's been sleeping for 3 hours.
Yeah, and you're like,
What happened? My whole Saturday's gone.
No, but it wasn't. You had a great Saturday.
Oh yeah, but like sometimes I like to feel productive.
Yeah,
but
like, oh, I have
that's
stuff to
what's-
do. No,
What
I
exactly
don't.
does that feel like?
What, to be productive?
Yeah.
You'll know one
I don't,
day.
yeah. I just
It'll just happen.
I
and you'll be
never-
like, whoa, I just did something
This
productive.
is
no matter what I
Yeah.
do, I
When
never
you make
feel
that
like
doctor's
I did
appointment.
Mark this day down.
it's probably like a heroin addiction, like where you do it one day.
Jesus.
You do it one day, and then you feel like you've never like achieved that same productive, but you're always trying to be productive. I know.
Chasing the
See,
dragon.
I don't know.
Jesus
chasing the productive dragon.
I don't think I've ever.
Did I tie that metaphor together?
Oh, that guy. Oh. So
Hey,
hopeless.
listen, Carl's not here. Someone has to say something.
I've
offensive.
never felt so hopeless in my life.
You should be like a speaker for that. Like productivism. Is that a word?
Productivism? It is now.
It is now.
Coined
It's
right
like
here.
cocaine.
like
Productive rehab.
heroin.
I will make you lazy.
Aubrey, this is your first of many appearances
Aubrey's
on the
gonna be
spot. I assure
Aubrey's
you.
gonna be my ringer. I'm gonna be like, I'll make you lazy, just like what I did for her.
Remember when I talked about the washing machine effect on like a previous podcast?
No.
Oh, Punxsutawney Phil Day.
Oh, we were talking about so
Wait, I don't remember. I remember Punxsutawney Phil. Well, we have to recap for new listeners.
So a very good friend of mine, also bartender at the Speedwell, Mr. Chris Martelli. coined the phrase the washing machine effect. And no one parties harder than Chris Martelli. So basically that's when you reactivate the alcohol from the night before. So you wake up in the morning and you immediately have a drink and you're right back where you were.
Oh, okay.
You know, you think you sobered up because you slept for 5 or 6
What does that have
hours.
to do with the washing machine? I
I
feel
don't know,
like
you're just remixing
It's
everything.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's the rinse cycle.
Gotcha.
You're reusing everything that was in there.
You need to just jump in there afterwards.
Yeah.
You're so dirty, full of beer. You just
Yeah.
get right in the washing machine.
So you have a drink the next day, like an hour after you wake up, or immediately you just drink that 1 Miller Lite can on the side of your bed. I've never done that before. I don't know why it was so detailed. But
Nightstand whiskey.
and you immediately just pick up where you left off. I think that's why you have to start with lighter stuff, like the next morning. Like if you were drinking the night before and you wake up in the morning and you're like, you're going to be day drinking, you can't just go for the whiskey because of the washing machine effect.
I mean,
Man,
you probably should never just go for the whiskey when you wake up in the morning. Even
depends
if
how bad you are.
Yeah, yes.
Well, let me throw these two words out. Shower beer.
Oh, it's the best beer you could ever have.
That's freedom right there.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's when you're like, I'm an adult, damn it.
Yes.
I'll drink my beer in the
Yep,
shower.
yep. I got my
once.
American flag shower curtain. I got freaking Sammy Hagar blasting, and I'm chugging a beer while I'm. There's nothing more American than just
So
a
this is
shower
before you
beer,
got
man.
married.
No, it was like yesterday. My wife was banging
That's
on
why
the
he
door
was
to get
late
in there.
today.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
He was meeting with a vendor.
Who brought me some beer, actually.
In the shower, it was weird.
You mentioned the bedside Miller Lite, though.
Mm-hmm.
One way to like ruin it for you for the rest of your life is someone who dips.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you were gonna say butt
Oh.
can.
I thought it was gonna be an ashtray.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will never ever grab a beer next to my bed again.
Wait, you've done this?
I was it wasn't in bed. I was on a floor somewhere.
Oh, that's better.
Are you just saying somewhere like I don't feel like explaining, or somewhere you didn't know where you were?
It was like a
All right.
friend of a friend's house,
Okay,
like
all
you
right.
know, where
Yeah, yeah.
you're like,
Get a
okay,
general.
I was safe, I guess. Like I hope, I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna go with I was safe to make myself feel better.
All right.
But like I don't know how I got there, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh god,
We
like,
should have had her for the blackout episode.
I feel like this one's going to turn into that.
usually does my conversations. What was I saying? I didn't take my Adderall
See?
today. So.
You were on a strange floor
Oh
somewhere.
well, so my first
Drinking
thought,
mystery
thought
drinks.
isn't where am I? How do I get home? It's is that a beer? Can I drink it? So I grabbed it and I drank it and like just chunks went back.
Ugh,
Oh, I am so sorry.
that's the worst.
I'm scarred, yeah.
Should I ask what happened afterwards? Is it?
Well, there was some puking, some scream. I like sometimes you just want to be dramatic, like
Yeah.
especially it's just like went kind of through the hall screaming a little bit, waking everybody up,
I would have done the same thing.
puking. No one
Somehow I feel
claimed
like
it.
you're
I
more
went around and was like lined everybody up. Not really. This is me over exaggerating, being dramatic again. But lined everybody up. I'm like, did you do dip?
Right.
Did you do?
I
dip?
wanna know
Did
where
you-"
the dip
Like,
came from.
Shove it down your throat again.
Somehow it's your fault that I just randomly picked up a container and drank from it.
Yeah, definitely.
I've just like put myself there. Oh, dude.
You've never done that at a party? Like
I've
drank
had
from
a butt. Yeah, I've had a
I've
butt
drank
can,
the
yeah.
ashtray.
Wait, you like picked up?
No,
the
no, like
ashtray?
someone leaves the can
Oh,
or a bottle with a little bit of beer in it, so you can put the.
Andy's got some
button.
stories.
I
that we
couldn't
haven't
find my
heard
yeah.
yet.
I know. I couldn't find my glasses, so I grabbed the next thing, and it was just an ashtray, and I put it.
Yeah.
No.
Said fuck it.
But if I didn't have my glasses
It's on
on,
the
that would be a
butt can.
completely reasonable story.
What would you rather do? The
Oh,
butt
God.
can or the dip can?
the butt can.
Butt can.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, I would
What's
rather
a butt
do the butt
can?
can.
Cigarette
Cigarette
butts.
Cigarette
butt in a
butts.
can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
With
I was-
It's not an ass thing.
I don't want you to know what I was picturing right there.
I want to know what I'm signing up for. I didn't know what kind of podcast.
People
Before I
pee in
say yes or no.
bottles. People pee in bottles. I was like
Yeah.
putting two and two
Woof.
together there. So.
Andy was butt chugging the other day. No.
Wait, why is it me?
Hey, I don't want to drink from one of those cans either, dude. Jesus Christ. All right. Butt can, dip can, butt chugging can. That's my order. How do we go from breakfast beverages to drinking?
Because we're drinking first thing in the morning.
Oh, that's true.
Day
That's-
drink, anything
because
can
I
happen.
had one hell of a butt can last night.
I just pictured like a beer can chicken. You know what I mean? Like, One hell of a butt can, dude.
I'm really glad our last episode was really informative.
Yeah,
It's not.
Poor Shelly is going to be like, all right, what am I learning this week?
Shout out to Shelly in Tennessee.
They
You know,
probably
like-
and combined them.
I wish that we had like senior quotes, but like for the rest of your life, because one hell of a butt can would have been mine for so long.
There's a tattoo shop right down the street.
Got a new one for you.
Oh, my God. I don't even know where to go with this.
So,
now.
like, the whole point of this was that restaurants seem to be serving drinks earlier and earlier.
right.
Do you think it's a positive thing? Do you think it's a negative thing? Do you think it's just us here in Plymouth? Because sometimes you get...
I think it's a New York thing first. I've been in New York City a bunch of times.
New York
and
just doesn't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
They're
Vegas,
open
you
till
can-
4
Vegas,
a.m.,
yeah.
and then they reopen at 8, and
Right.
that's just how it goes.
You don't even have time to sober up.
Right.
You don't
Right.
That's how they like it.
Yeah, it's New York.
How do you
But-
think they don't sleep?
Yeah.
They're sort of the trendsetters on the East Coast, so, I mean,
Do you,
know,
think do you think it's really us copying their format? As
I don't
best
think
we can?
100%, but I think that's just naturally the way things go. So, like, I'm buying things from New York, so then people that are making, like, I'm buying beer from New York, so the people that make that beer are over here more often, and it's always, well, why don't you do this? And, you know, in New York, this works, so, and then it just naturally progresses that way. I know, like, the jet stream from California is another thing, too, and, you know, people in California are just half speed over there. They just wicked laid
I'm
back.
kind of surprised we don't have as many brunch spots
Right.
in town. Because
See, I would-
you go in the city, it's everywhere. There's a million brunch
Yeah.
spots. Like, I was in
I
New
would-
York a couple months ago. We did brunch every fucking day.
I feel like it was like almost like a competitive thing where you get places. You know, we have Blue Eye Crab that does brunch.
Seasonally,
brunch.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, seasonally. But you have New World that does breakfast.
Yep.
And
You have Karen's Cafe Nicole. You're welcome, Aria.
Oh, Connor's awesome.
I've actually never
So
been there.
good.
Me neither.
Oh, I
dude.
work there in the summer. It's
Yeah?
so good.
Breakfast?
Yeah.
Can I get drinks?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And they got like a Mexican kind of vibe to the food too.
Yeah.
Dude, like best huevos rancheros I've ever had.
Ooh.
It's
So
been a
good.
comment. So good. Yeah, check it out. Great hot sauce selection too.
But it almost feels like some of the breakfast places are trying to compete with the places that normally serve drinks that are now doing breakfast. So it's like an arms race almost.
Yeah, I mean time is money, right? So if you can, I mean, the margin on alcohol is a lot better than the margin on food. You can't charge $20 for breakfast, but you can charge $15 for a Bloody Mary, like a really good Bloody Mary, or you know a punch or a mimosa. So I mean, time is money. If you're going to be open, you might as well make as much money as you can. If there's enough people out there, like everybody sitting here, who's willing to drink this early, you might as well capitalize on that. And you know what? I'll be honest. When I'm like on vacation, and Plymouth's a big tourist spot. When I'm on vacation, and we, you know, my wife and I choose a breakfast place, we look for somewhere with a liquor license because I'm on vacation. I want to take advantage. I want to have a Bloody Mary or a mimosa or a really nice breakfast drink that I haven't even thought of. I had a chelada in Brooklyn once, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. It was a Modelo, sort of like a beer Bloody Mary hybrid, Modelo with like a smoked sea salt rim on it, and I was super hungover to the point where I was shaking, and I couldn't imagine putting another ounce of alcohol, and I drank that thing, and I was like,
Let's fucking go.
American Dad, dude. Good morning, USA. Right after that, I was like, ready to go. All right, this vacation is continued. But there is something to be said about that, man. Like, you know, people, especially in this area that are on, you know, the tourists that are on vacation, they want to live a little, you know, or industry people like ourselves.
Then you have the people who have to deal with the tourists who want to drink all the time.
Exactly. Thank you. Like, you know, Aubrey, Dan, myself, you guys, like, we want, you know, we got to recover from the night before. We know we're going to be dealing with the public all again today. You got to desensitize yourself, numb yourself a little bit.
Here's
you know
my
what I
gripe
mean?
with brunch is it's only one day a week most places. 2 days max. Like, it needs to be
Yeah.
every day because, you know, we all work during the
But you
weekend.
got to pay people to be there, and it's kind of tough. People that have 9-to-5 jobs
Yo.
aren't going to go out.
We live in
during the week.
vacation land. We should have brunch every day in the summertime at least.
Yeah, maybe
That's why I'm surprised that Blue Eye does it seasonally kind of off.
I get why they don't because it's a whole special menu.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. But
it'd be a lot
you'd think
to do
they
it.
would do just as much business during the season.
It's hard to staff too, man.
Yeah.
Kitchen staff's hard to come by, and if you tell your kitchen guys now instead of you showing up at 9 in the morning, you're going to show up at 6 in the morning
Yep.
Yeah.
to get ready for brunch, even if it's one day a week. You're going to lose a couple kitchen guys. That sucks. Like either that, or you're going to be the owner or the manager is going to be in the kitchen doing that. I don't know. Aubrey, Lucios is going to be doing it soon. You said,
Yeah,
or
just
working on it.
Sundays.
Just Sundays. So that's great. How are they doing with the staffing of that? Are they?
I mean, Lucio's they've always had a hard, like, hard time staffing. It's a fantastic place to work.
Yeah.
It's just like newer, it's a little hectic sometimes. So
Right.
I think every place in Plymouth
Yeah.
is
Every
always
place is
trying
like
to
so they've
that,
always it's like you said, kitchen staff. They're like kind of not in a mean way, but like easy come, easy go. Kind of like they're like I can
Yeah.
get a job anywhere. And then if the kitchen staff leaves, then everyone else gets overwhelmed because that's like the heart of the
Right.
restaurant.
Right.
So without like a solid kitchen staff, everyone else is
Right.
screwed
And they
over.
hired Aubrey, so
Yeah.
they're clearly scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Not even hired me, but they kept me. That's like,
They're like, she's shit, but she shows up.
yeah. Put me as a bartender too. My job interview, I was like, I'm clumsy and forgetful, but I'll be here.
Honest to God, hired. That's how we.
Best abilities, availability.
Hey, for example,
Just a real quick side note, give Aubrey a little bit of leeway here. I scheduled 14 job interviews with servers 2 weeks ago. 14 between 3 days. 2 showed up.
That's wild.
Oh, dude.
And we hired those 2 because they showed up. That was that's the way it is right now.
When I worked my crappy retail job, I used to have to do interviews, and there was one guy literally showed up 3 hours late for his interview.
Are you serious?
And he's like, I understand if you don't want to interview me. And I go, good, because I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Like, are you out of your fucking mind?
3
Like,
hours.
I don't
Like,
get
if
it.
you can't be on time the first couple days,
Yeah, if you
you're
can't
never
hold your shit
gonna-
together
Right.
for an interview,
Right.
forget it.
Lucioso's, I went in and I was like, yeah, so I need a job, and they're like, okay, can you start tomorrow? I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
That's usually how I have it. Kitchen staff, that's wicked tough though, because then that's what I'm saying. Like, so I know Lucioso's is busy all the time. They have a very similar menu to Speedwell, and it's you can train anyone.
That's right, they do. And Aubrey didn't bring us wings either.
Finally, the heat is taken off of me.
What do you mean? He said it 3 times already. What do you mean?
I don't think Aubrey came from Lucioso's.
But finding kitchen staff is tough, and it's almost to the point when you get a good one, you don't want to push them too much. That's why I don't do brunch at Speedwell, is because I'm so nervous to add more hours to the kitchen. Where am I going to get the help from? It's going to either be me, and I don't want to fucking do it. I'm already there on Sunday mornings. So I think that's what might be why, especially at least focus down here. I'm seeing every restaurant's hiring kitchen help right now. The last thing you want to do is stretch your help out even thinner and open up at 6, open up at 8 in the morning on a Sunday and have the guys have to come in at 6. So I guess, I don't know. I've never done brunch before. I did chicken and waffles over at Speedwell for a little while, and that
Sounds
went well.
delicious.
Sounds so good.
But I can't do it because it had to be me. It was me and my brother. I was guilting my brother into coming in at 6 in the morning, and we were
That's
doing
what
that.
family's for.
You only last so long, baby.
Name
But
of
yeah,
Texas,
Joel trained on
maybe.
Blood
that.
is thick in the water, but not thicker than beer.
So you're talking about having to keep your staff and especially the kitchen guys. Well, not especially. Everyone's important, but you reward your staff by going day drinking.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I definitely do.
You do the Carl
Twice
crawl.
a year.
Yeah.
Carl crawl and then the Christmas party. Yeah, absolutely. We do staff meeting twice a year.
Do you think industry people are more likely to day drink than your average person?
100%.
Absolutely. Because they work at night.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
weird,
right, yeah,
we have
that
weird
makes
days
a lot of
off.
When else are they
Hey,
going to
I'm
drink?
new to the industry, man. I'm trying to get caught up.
This is true.
You know, like how someone's so hard to deal with when they're hangry, like someone you love, like your family member or something.
Yeah.
Well, just picture going through that like over and over and over again. Hangry people
That you don't love.
that I don't, that I don't care about.
The best
That's a
description.
really- yeah.
That is a great description. I have never even thought about that.
That's amazing.
We always say just dealing with the public, like everyone's an asshole. No, everyone's just an asshole when they're hungry. And when do they go to a restaurant? When they're hungry.
Especially,
That's a great point.
That's a really good point because, like, downtown, height of the summer, every place has a 45-minute wait,
And it's hot.
At best, it's hot. You
They're
have
hungry.
kids
Right.
who are cranky, so you're bitchy.
They haven't been day drinking.
yeah,
Yep.
And
Or
then
they
you,
have,
then you
and they're starting to
accidentally
get
bring
that.
the wrong drink or something.
Oh,
and
forget
then
about
total
it.
asshole.
Yeah.
That's a
That's why.
excellent work, Aubrey.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man. You can make this a
Practicing
regular
this
thing. You're a shoo-in. But that's the thing, too. It's, industry people typically work at night. So when are you going to drink? And you want to take that edge off before dealing with the hangry public, right? So you kind of want to go on with, I don't know. And this is how I did it. When I worked, so now I don't really work behind the bar. I work in the kitchen, but I get to hide from people back there. I talk to the chicken wings. But when you're working face to face with the public coming in, it's tough, man, because you don't know what you're going to get. It's a mixed bag. You might get people on their worst day. You get people hungry. You get people they haven't had their first beer yet. I used to have a couple beers before every shift, man. It took the edge off.
So as a business owner, how do you feel when your staff does that, and what do you do when they have more than a couple?
I don't have a rule. I've never had a situation.
What if Aubrey shows up for work one day?
Let's say, all right, theoretically, say Aubrey worked for me at the Speedwell Tavern and she showed up, I'm going to tell she was legitimately intoxicated. First of all, I'm pretty sure you could probably still do your job.
Did you see your parallel parking job? I'm just saying.
All right, but it just so everybody knows, I keep looking at the microphone like it's a person. I did a fantastic job parallel parking
sure
before I got in here. It was so
Everybody
smooth,
has
so
two cruisers
good.
show up.
Yeah, they're my friends.
Yeah, the thing is, she didn't parallel park her car. It was someone else's car.
I just moved
Yeah, but you didn't
two
hit the
cars.
curb. That's the important thing.
Just moved the two cars with my car, so
All
it's fine.
right.
I think it's completely okay. I think within reason, good employees know that, you don't get blackout drunk before a shift. If you are, then you have something going on or whatever, or you either have a really bad problem or it's a rare occurrence. But that, as long as they're not doing it at Speedwell, where they're like sitting at the bar and they're like, all right, time to suit up, and then they walk on the other side of the bar and start serving drinks, I understand it. I kind of get it, man. Especially if you're working Friday or Saturday night, and you're going to be, you want to be on the same level kind of as the people you're dealing with. Is it responsible? You're like, no, tip certification, you're going to make sure you're checking IDs correctly and all that. That's all very important, but not having a hot head or being angry or impulsive or anything while dealing with these people who are angry and impulsive, I think that's very important. And if having a couple of beers before your shift is how you deal with that, I get that.
And it's even something when I worked retail, I had someone come up to me one day, and he reported to me, and by the book, I should have gone right to, HR, but he came up, he's like, I think I'm still fucked up from last night. And I said,
Right.
I do not want to see you on a machine, because we had forklifts and whatnot.
That's different.
I'm like, do not get on one. Do not do anything that's going to put you in harm's way.
Right.
We'll get to lunchtime, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, pulling a draft handle and
Yeah.
operating a
Forklift,
machine.
totally different.
Totally different thing. That, in that instance, obviously, I'd be like, if I was a foreman and I had someone showing up drunk that was about to get up on a forklift or
So yeah,
Probably all the job.
But
yeah, I think
he
it's
was responsible of him
to
to
just like
be like, hey, listen, shit happens. I didn't think about this because
right,
it's happened to me. You get to work and I say, like, I think I'm still drunk.
right,
Be responsible. Worst case scenario, be like, can I go home?
right,
Yeah.
right. No, that's a really great call. It's almost you seem like a shithead telling your boss that like, I think I'm messed up, but
And
it's
there's
the
a
right thing to do.
There's a difference between doing it once your entire
right?
tenure, and another time doing it once a week.
And that goes bounds too if you are the boss, because then that person's straight with you all the time.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, why would they tell me about this one time they came in fucked up and not the other times? That means
Right.
this was the only time.
And why am I going to beat him up over one time?
Right, exactly. Absolutely not. And if you are, you're a dick.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going through. He could have had a really rough
Right.
whatever. And
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Who hasn't had that one tequila shot too many?
let's not talk about that.
If I'm doing too
That's
many
a
tequila
totally
shots, it's
different-
usually not just one.
Yeah.
One is usually too many.
That one will lead to many more tequila shots that were
Tequila
too
likes
much.
friends.
The other thing about industry people drinking during the day and why it's common is because they're usually friends with other industry people. And
Yeah.
you don't go out drinking alone, you go out drinking with other people. So either you have a mutual day off, which tends to be like a Tuesday or a Monday, or you all work at night and you want to hang out with your friends during the day and have a good time because you can't do it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. You do it with your friends during the day.
Well, that's the weird thing is because we have weird days off. So while everyone else is on a Saturday, Sunday where it's acceptable to drink during the day, we
Right.
have Monday, Tuesday off. So
Right.
where everyone's on that, I've come home day drunk from Boston, like blackout drunk at 6 o'clock on the train. Everyone's in their suits and ties with their briefcase and fucking pass out.
sleeping on the guy's lap.
They're like, oh, look at this poor guy. I'm like, fuck, you had the best day ever.
That's going to be them on Monday. So
Yeah,
they know
that's-
to
yeah.
stay
it's funny. It's like you're like, oh, you don't when you're in the industry, you want to drink with your friend. Well, you're never really not. Even when you go out alone, you're still going to a bar where people you know. So you're never like just
Right.
hanging alone. You're drinking with people you know.
Right.
So
Exactly.
And he's
Absolutely.
like, I don't go out by myself. I have friends.
My friends might be.
You work for tips, so sure.
It's a stigma thing, too.
Are you my friend, or am I not tipping you?
Who was the person that came out with the idea that, like, drinking during the day wasn't a good thing? Like, who wrote that schedule? That's what I want to understand. Like, really getting bare bones about it. Like, what? It's because that we assume that most of the world works 9 to 5, Monday through Friday? Is that why day drinking's not okay?
Yeah,
Or...
is that why it's 5 o'clock somewhere? Not
Right.
10 o'clock
it's
somewhere
who's
like
to
you
say?
want it to be?
It's
Like-
10 a.m. somewhere.
Breakfast is one of the most fucked up things. Like, I can have some crazy ass donut from Dunkin' Donuts seasonal with like a Hershey bar stuck in it.
Listen,
Stuck in it?
It's not that crazy.
Stuck in it? Is stuck in a word?
I don't care what it's doing
But
as long as it's there.
But if I was like, oh, I had a giant piece of cake this morning, people would be like, you talk some. It's the same fucking thing.
It's the same. If anything, a donut's worse for you than cake because it's
Yeah.
like fried and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
So breakfast is weird. Like, you know,
it is.
You can't be like, oh, I had a steak for breakfast, but I had a bowl full of little tiny chocolate chip cookies and milk.
Listen,
And that's okay.
this is why pizza bagels were invented, because when pizza's on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime. So,
Sponsor of the show.
yeah.
We're working on it. That's
the smartest thing that Dan has ever said, though.
Oh, I would kill someone for pizza bagels.
do we, I know, man. Two people work with chicken wings. We
I
don't
swear,
have
we're not day
100%.
smoking.
That's another episode.
Yeah, we missed that episode.
Yeah, we'll do
forgot
another
to show
episode
up.
of Day Edibles.
Do you-
I don't move as long if I'm comfy pants or no pants and high. There's no way I'm doing anything that night. I don't care if I had plans or like making plans. Not moving.
Oh, I've
You're already in the comfy
No.
pants.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my plans.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to take a couple quick questions before we get to the last call?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. This one comes from. First of all, I've been drinking all morning, so cut me some slack. I can't pronounce your names normally. Bob Townsend.
How can you pronounce Bob Townsend? It's like the easiest one.
Please don't spit that out.
Don't spit out on the mic.
Please.
I was like that's the
hate you
easiest
all.
name you've ever
I
had.
hate you all.
Spit
it-
beer
is it
everywhere.
Bob?
I'm like, it's Ezekiel.
Hey, Joey back on the show?
I cannot pronounce this. John Smith.
Fuck you all. This is why
That's
you
why
don't day
people
drink
don't
with
day
friends.
drink, Yeah.
All right.
So, his question.
I don't know by faith that you can tell me this question right now.
Open,
even read.
Today, Junior.
open bar for wedding, top shelf, 4 hours. Tip bucket or no?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Oh,
it's
of
open bar
course.
for anything, it should
Oh,
be
make
tip
fun of
bucket.
me like for mispronouncing his name, not his question. I'm just saying.
I'm so proud of you.
Tip bucket for everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know why would you?
Unless
is there ever a reason you wouldn't put out a tip bucket?
Yes, and sometimes the bride and groom or whatever the party's for, whether it be a wedding or something else, they say, no, we want to take care of everything. So the people who put on the party will tip the bartender or server themselves out of their own pocket so that people going reaching for wallets, you're in a tuxedo, you're in this, you're in that, you don't got cash on you, you know what I mean? So they want to take that away. If you're ever in one of those weddings, invite me as your number two, because I want to go to one
I was
of
going to
those.
say,
I think I still throw.
Those bartenders money because then they take care of you.
Right, no, it's true.
But I'm
I've
just
we
thinking
used to
open
work.
bar and the family's taking care of the tips. I want to marry into that family.
Now, I used to work at a banquet spot where we did a lot of weddings,
How old's
and
Bob?
I worked at a couple of those.
Huh?
And
How
let me
old
tell
is
you,
Bob?
Well, Bob was clearly the bartender. He wasn't getting married.
Back to the
oh, now I'm stupid.
I agree with Dan though. Always tip the bartender, even if they say, "Oh, you're not allowed to," because I would get screwed on that. Like they'd be like, "Oh, the bride and groom are going to take care of you," and they slip you a $20. I just sold $1,300 worth of freaking
Yeah.
top shelf booze, and I got $20 out of it for 4 hours.
I think now, though, a lot of times when venues do that, it's all factored in, like, gratuity-wise. So,
Right,
I mean,
with
it still
sales.
probably sucks, but, like,
you're better off even still slip them some cash. And like
Yeah.
Dan said, bartender's going to take care of you.
yeah, I can remember you that gave him even, like, $5 than the
How-
guy that gave him nothing.
Right.
Okay, this next one comes from Jessa DeKenna.
You could pronounce that one, but not Bob Townsend.
You didn't. I'm still mad at you for not bringing snarls.
That was an episode ago.
Oh, damn it! It was. God damn it! All right. How do you deal? This is actually pretty topical. How do you deal with how?
Oh.
This is awesome.
How do you deal with it when politics get brought up in a bar?
It's a rule, man. You know, you just
No
don't do
religion or politics at the bar. I've yelled at people, like, not really mean. Well, I have. I've told people to shut the fuck up, but you have to be in the right bar for that. But you can just walk away. Nothing good will come from that being involved, especially as a bartender.
it. Correct.
You choose the wrong side, and there goes your money.
I've completely thrown everything I believed in into the wind and agreed with them for the sake of the tip.
That is what.
Oh, I've done
it.
That's a smart bartender right there.
I've been like, you know what? Yes, we should have a wall and give all our money to that wall.
Except for the money you're going to give me. Yeah. I'm building said wall, so funnel it over.
I'm a mixture of both, where I'll agree at first and just kind of play along, and then when I see that people near that person is starting to get uncomfortable, then I'm like, all right, man, so what's up with the Celtics? You know what I mean? Or what's up with this?
Yeah,
you
you got to read the room. Like,
Yeah.
if it's that combative politic person.
If
then-
you have a hard rule, though, like you were like, oh, dude, you can't talk politics, you're going to piss somebody off, too. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of working counter to what
Well,
you're
but
at.
you would talk all
of speech, man?
Yeah, you just.
Yeah, man. We're all Tommy Chong right now.
Dude, if you're just going to keep making fun of me, I'm just going to stop reading.
I didn't make fun of you yet.
You liar?
I'm in on this question.
Oh, on this question.
It's
All
a
right.
redo every time.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. All right. I'm sorry. So this is Ace Castellanos.
Nice job.
Right?
That
Pete,
mu-
Pete Townsend. It wasn't Pete Townsend.
that
it was
might be right.
Bob Townsend. No, we're not talking the Who. All right.
Well, Fish can attest to this. I have horrible spelling unless it comes to foreign words. I seem to do okay.
Okay.
It's
That's
weird.
odd.
It's very weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were
I have-
spelling these names out. I thought
I
you
think
were
you're
just reading
slurring
them,
your way into lucky spellings, dude.
Yeah, probably.
but the best / worst part is he could literally say any name, and we have no idea. So.
I know. He could
Oh,
just-
this one is from Jim Smith again.
Yeah.
That's really active.
Bob Townsend coming in hot. in the rafters.
All right, what is it about bartending that makes us so competitive with each other?
I didn't know that was a thing.
I
feel
didn't
that's a thing,
either.
Roger?
No.
I'm the most passive bartender ever. Like, literally, the one I work with on Saturday night goes, I think we should both close Saturdays. I'm like, well, all right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
close. Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna.
So you don't feel there's any friendly competition between bars?
No, and I've been bartending for a while. I haven't in a while, but I did for a very long time, and I never felt like it was competitive. There was always like that, let's try it together. Let's try to make this amount of money tonight.
Yeah.
But we weren't competing with each other. We always sort of pooled.
Teamwork.
And, yeah, it was a teamwork
I
thing.
feel like it was the opposite, like camaraderie. Like, you're
Yeah.
like, we are both dealing with these shitty people together.
yes.
We got this.
Do you ever
Yes.
feel like, I mean, most people's experience with, like, the inner workings of bars come from, like, Cheers. Do you ever feel like there's that, like, bar rivalry? Like, Cheers had that, I can't remember what the name of the place was, but they would, like, joke around with, like, pull pranks on each other?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't know. I never really had any of that.
I mean, there's always the group prank where you send the new guy to get the glass magnet to all the other bars
the
around
glass
town. But that's like bar camaraderie.
Bucket
right
of
there.
air.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always good. But that was like you were making fun of your own people.
Yeah. That's how you introduce the new guy to all the surrounding friends.
I got looking for gluten-free ice.
Gluten-free ice.
Did you go
looking for
That's
I like that's a good one.
Oh, dude,
Didn't get me that time.
Yeah.
That time.
Roman from New World Tavern, Carl's partner, got my staff really bad. He came over on St. Patrick's Day at 2 o'clock, and he knew by that time I wasn't going to be at the bar. I was going to be probably at BBC drinking, or Lucio's was getting a pizza on my way home because I drank too much. And he went over and ran into my kitchen and was like, all right, where are the Guinness tenders that Jordan promised me?
First of all, Roman's German.
Yes. He is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's not
Arnold
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
But, and then the kitchen guy's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, Jordan promised me 20 pounds of tenders. They were all in a Guinness sauce. I'm supposed to have them for an event across the street. And my kitchen guys freaked out. This is in the middle of... And this was just
They say
this
Germans
Roman.
don't have a sense of humor.
No, yeah, it's called Schadenfreude. They like to see people suffer. And that was by far one of the... I got to get him back for that. But
Just
we
send
should
him
do more of that shit. With this, like, we had a previous episode where we were talking about the networking and the relationships with all the bars here. We should start really fucking with each other.
Well,
That'd be
the
great.
one
be
thing
so
that I
fun.
really remember is Flat Carl.
Flat Carl is a great one, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why is Carl flat?
Well,
That's a great question.
first of all,
His personality's not
everybody
that great.
develops during puberty differently.
Already got that time.
He didn't hit puberty.
Yeah, they made a cardboard cutout of Carl that you could get your photo taken with, and then I think Jim Casey stole it.
Yep.
And would bring it around town with him to different restaurants and like live stream and
Put him in hula
Instagram.
skirts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was good
So then
stuff.
this year's arm wrestling competition, there was 2 flat Carls, and one's at Mayflower, and I don't. I
They
think
had a
one's
baby.
here. Yeah,
one
basically.
maybe
Wow.
here. Yeah,
I
he's
think
in
one's here.
Lederhosen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do more of that, actually. That's good stuff. The competitive, and not competitive bartending, but let's stop fucking with each other's bars. That'd
Yeah,
be
just-
hilarious.
I'm gonna start doing
I don't work here anymore, so
In a very
you come to everyone's
respectful
bar. I'm
way.
like,
Yeah.
hey guys.
In a respectful way, but
In that fun way.
yeah.
Gauntlets thrown down, people.
Challenge.
First of all, if Jim Casey hears us, you're all in fucking trouble.
I know. He's a mastermind, dude.
You're all like twisted. He is like.
Or Jimmy Agnew.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jimmy's fucked up.
He's already got me a couple times.
All right. This one comes from Stephanie Templeton. Are any of you not allowed to park by your job, and why? Do you think this is fair? Not that this is a hot topic in this town or anything.
Visit! I plead the visit!
It's awful. Luckily, Lucioso's has the parking, but
But it's also like one of the few
the
free parking
only
in
like
town.
one of two free parking that doesn't have a time limit
Yeah.
that I know of. So in the summer I rarely get to park there. I've walked in the summer sometimes because I'm just like not dealing with it. You know, it's bad when I actually exercise to get to work. But no, it's awful. Like I have to either like I got a ticket last summer because I just had to have like, you know what, $25 for a day, whatever. But I have to pay to go to work is what it's saying basically. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not
You've
fair.
given up an hour.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the many reasons I left working in this town is I didn't want to pay to go to work anymore. But I've worked at another place where we had a big parking lot and they didn't want you to park. We had like a back parking lot and that's where the staff had to park. It was like in a sketchy area, so people's cars got broken in and stuff too.
That's awful because especially for girls, like we walk out.
Yeah.
If I was to mug anyone, it would be a server or bartender. I'll tell you
Absolutely.
right now because they're walking out with a bunch of cash,
That's
and you know
admission
they
to
are.
guilt, right there. So-
I mean, I'm broke, so we all know. I spent my $20 on these 2 beers, and we're done. But it's like I know girls who were waitressing, and they've been mugged on the way out because they couldn't park close to their job, and
I know,
Awful.
especially at Luciosa's, and this isn't a knock on the place; it's the parking lot. It may or may not been called the rapey parking lot because it's super dark. It's
dark.
really long. You
Yeah.
get like way down in the middle of nowhere, and I've seen.
woods everywhere.
There's
Yep.
nothing else around there.
Yeah, I've seen and have been a regular customer there, and when waitresses leave, you're like, well, I'm walking you out because I just don't feel comfortable you walking into the parking lot alone.
Right.
And regular customers will walk the employees out.
Yeah.
You walked me out a couple times, haven't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Walked
What
you
a
out or
guy.
followed you
Valiant.
creepily.
First of all,
It's only
Tomato,
creepy,
tomato,
It's
you
only
know.
creepy when she sees me hiding in the bushes. all right?
I think the question was more directed about there's certain places where, let's say, they have their own parking lot and
I
they
feel
don't
like
want.
I feel like that's a corporate thing.
Yeah, they don't want the staff
Yeah,
taking
that's-
up the prime spots.
Right.
They essentially want the staff parking not super far away, but the furthest away if there were all available spots in the lot.
I think,
Which I understand,
I
but-
think if it's safe place for your employees to park, then yeah,
Right,
walk.
and if
You're
it's
the
not, then you have to put in,
Yeah.
and you have to imply that there are going to be someone help walking them to their car.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to hire a security or your bouncers at the end of the night. That has to be part of their job.
right.
Like plenty of lighting, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like have
Absolutely.
appropriate.
But
And if there's not, you provide that lighting and you provide the escort.
Yeah.
That's just.
I don't have a problem with them being like, well, customers or employees park furthest away from the building.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not a customer,
Right. Right. And it sucks, but you can pull, you can do whatever you want to do.
and it's not. I'm assuming it's not miles.
Right.
No,
and if it is, then
well then, yeah, that's
Then you
different.
need
yeah,
a
they better
new
be paying
job,
for your
my
Uber
friend.
too. Yeah.
Just give me a new pair of roller skates.
But if a boss is going to tell you can't park somewhere, then they have to create an environment where you're safe to get back
Yeah.
to your car, to and from your car.
I'll
so.
even add and adhere to that.
Okay.
Not like the boss being like, you guys have
Yeah.
to park here and then park
Right.
super close because
Exactly.
that's just a dick move.
Exactly.
I'm glad
All right, let's change that subject. 'Cause I know where that's going. All right.
I think that's the last call, Jordan.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was zoning out over here. Last call. This is the portion of the show where we wrap it up. We all give our final thoughts. Doesn't have to necessarily pertain to what we talked about today. Could be anything that's on your mind. I'd like to just first off thank Andy and Fish for once again producing the Bar Talk podcast. It was a very long layoff. My fault.
It's always your fault.
Yeah, it's always.
We just blame you.
Owning up to that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I just said
Yeah,
it
stop
was my
interrupting
fault.
Jordan.
I sound like Carl. What am I turning into? And just for that, I'm going to pass off to Andy to start off last call.
All right. Well, first of all, make sure you check out all the podcasts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. You can check that out at inebriart.com. And stop by the craft beer cellar and check out the most handsome gentleman that works there. By that I mean the only.
I don't work here.
The only gentleman that works here, because I just started working here. Craft beer cellar on Main Street in Plymouth. They have pretty much every craft beer you can imagine. Plenty of local stuff. Some stuff from overseas, East, West Coast. Lots of wine.
Charcuterie.
Thank you. I was going to try it.
I wasn't. You already struggled with Townsend. I
Fucking
was
Bob
giving you a
Townsend
break.
got you already. Yeah.
It's teamwork, Andy.
Fuck you all. Yeah, no, it's a great place. Dog friendly. Also, you can bring your dog in.
Really?
Yeah, they have.
There's a
little-
dog somewhere in the building.
Yeah, Cooper's sleeping in the other room, but they have some dog treats at the register, so you can pick up your beer and give your dog a little treat, and there's some fresh water out for your dogs. So, yeah, Main Street, craft beer cellar, Plymouth. Be there.
Let's go.
Do it.
Mahoney.
Dan Mahoney, and I'm starting a new petition for the year of 2020 to have brunch every fucking day.
So look for that online petition to sign
Curious
up.
to see how
man.
much you weigh after that year.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I'm not going to wake up to go to it, but I think everyone should.
Should be able to enjoy brunch.
Punxsutawney.
Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil Day will coincide with brunch every
All
day. So look for that. And look for Jordan's photo shoot with Sniles Barkley.
My photo shoot with Sniles Barkley. For those of you listening, I lost in the championship of fantasy basketball to Dan Mahoney, and part of just already the pain of losing to Dan at anything was I have to take a picture with his dog in front of laser beams, and I can't wait to do
You
that.
have to. It's the
Yeah.
cutest goddamn dog ever.
Right?
You need
Should
some help
be-
with that?
So lucky to be able
It's
to hang
just
out with
because I
Sniles
lost.
Barkley.
It's a thing. It's like a anyway. I want to give a shout out, and like I said, I'm going to be plugging this as much as I possibly can. September 8th, Mayflower Brewery, America's Hometown Throwdown. All of Plymouth chefs come together, compete with each other. It's a good time. It's playful, but it's highly competitive. This will be the 4th year. I will be the MC along with local legend Jake Hill. That means you got to listen to me on microphone for 4 hours, but it's in beautiful weather. It's for a great cause.
There's
Community
lots
action.
of booze, too, to tune you out.
Lots of booze. Yep. And it starts early, so you can day drink, which is very in theme to this show.
Yes, it is.
All proceeds go to the South Shore Community Action Council, which is a great nonprofit that makes sure that kids don't go hungry. And as restaurant owners and people who work in the industry, that is something we want to make sure it doesn't happen. And we can't feed kids all the time. We just feed drunk people that drink during the day. Like ourselves.
Can I interrupt real quickly for a
Of course.
recap from the last episode?
Yeah.
So we just got a thank you from Shelly from Tennessee. His last name is in Townsend. Fuck you all.
Shelly Bubblegum, thank you. I appreciate it.
She just said that she used some of the knowledge that she learned from our podcast about IPAs versus craft. That's what she says to explain to customers. So
Cool.
somehow,
I hope she got the point.
somehow, some way, we have leaked out a little bit of knowledge in our podcast.
I like it.
That 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's been like 30 episodes. She got like 2 sentences worth of it.
We are learning on the job as well. So.
Honestly, that's about as much information as I can take as 2 sentences, so we're good.
Well, this is the right podcast for you, my friend. So, Aubrey,
Last call.
Well, I'm Aubrey Davy. I held out in a burp for a long time for you guys. So
where do you want to plug? Where do you work? When do you work?
I work at Lucioso's Friday nights. I am Saturday days waitress as well. Saturday nights bartender. Completely kill it. Good ways and bad ways. And yeah, Sunday days too. Working Carmen's Cafe Nicole. You're welcome again, Aria. I don't know what else is it.
Come day drink with
Pretty
her.
much it, yeah.
Yeah,
Local
day
legend.
drink with me. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
And soon to be returning guest, I think.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say, thanks
I'll
for being
come
here.
back.
Can you come back?
I mean,
You took
yeah.
over Carl's spot.
It,
now.
Yeah.
I literally, it was like, he told me about this. I'm like, you know what? It'll help me procrastinate for studying for finals. So, hell yeah, I'll be there.
We're here for you.
You're welcome.
We're here for you.
Just show your professor this podcast. Maybe they'll understand, or maybe that extra credit.
Yeah. Like, hey, I mentioned you. Like, if you want to give me some bunch of extra credit,
Yeah. Bonus points.
Bunch of olive, whatever.
just pass me. You were good.
All right, Jordan, you gonna close?
Am
it
I
out?
doing the ads
Do
this
you want me
time?
to do it?
No, I got it, I
You
think.
sure?
Thank you for listening to the Bar Talk Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at Bar Talk Podcast. You can find us on Instagram on Bar Talk Podcast. And you can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com.
Say that 3 times fast.
It's better than fucking Bob Townsend.
Well, send us your questions, Bob Townsend, so we can keep answering them. And if you want your name mispronounced or stuttered or stumbled through, make sure you send the questions into our email or our Facebook page. We'll answer those. We'll even do, like, if you have a really good story.
Yeah,
We'd love to
we'd
recap someone's crazy story.
We'll take credit and say there are stories
If
if
you
they're really good, but you know,
Yeah,
we'll
totally.
still read them.
Yeah.
And if you really want us to stumble, make sure we're doing the day drinking episode.
Yeah, and make sure your name's really easy pronounced, so Andy can't read
And
it.
if it's a really great question, maybe we'll send you an autographed Carl Heine Hawaiian shirt.
I've been trying to get one of those for years. So you're the
We're
lucky.
going to get like a Giannis Amnekatombo next time. Like, fucking rest in
Is
peace,
that a
Bucks,
reference that I'm
'cause-
supposed to understand?
Yeah,
I
he's a
don't.
player for the Bucks. Sorry, the Celtics take him
Alright.
out. Yeah. But yeah, thanks again for listening to the Bar Talk Podcast. It's been a great time. Keep the questions coming, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.